Chosen one. Pause for a moment. If you found this message, it is not because you were searching. It is because He was calling. There is a reason your spirit feels heavy lately. A reason your heart has been stretching in silence. A reason old versions of you no longer fit. But the new one hasn't fully arrived yet. You are not confused. You are aligning. And today, heaven is revealing something most people will never hear. Your soul was modeled after Christ's light. Specifically for this exact season. Not for yesterday. Not for a future generation. But now, stay with me. Because by the end of this message, you will finally understand why your life never looked normal. Why your suffering was so precise. And why the world couldn't recognize you. Until this moment. From the beginning, you sensed it. Even as a child. You felt deeper than others. Loved harder. Questioned existence. Carried emotions you didn't have language for. You weren't rebellious. You were aware. You didn't reject the world. You simply couldn't merge with it. People told you to toughen up. To be practical. To stop overthinking. But they didn't know that your soul wasn't designed for surface living. It was designed for light bearing. You were modeled after Christ's pattern. Not His popularity, but His essence, His compassion, His endurance, His ability to remain pure. In a world that rewards corruption. That is why fitting in always felt like betrayal. Chosen one. Nothing about you is accidental. Your sensitivity was not weakness. It was calibration. Your empathy was not naivety. It was spiritual intelligence. Your discomfort with injustice, manipulation, and ego was proof that your soul carried a different frequency. Christ's light is not loud. It does not force. It does not compete. It exposes simply by existing. And your soul was designed the same way. That's why your presence unsettled people who couldn't explain why. That's why some loved you instantly, while others resented you without cause. Light does that. Chosen one. There is a reason your life never moved in a straight line, while others seemed to follow a predictable path. School, success, stability, applause. Your journey felt interrupted, delayed, and strangely intense. Moments of clarity, followed by long seasons of confusion. Breakthroughs that almost happened. Then silence. You asked yourself questions you never spoke out loud. Why does my life feel harder than it should? Why do I see so much, yet receive so little recognition? Why does it feel like I'm always being prepared, but never released? The answer is uncomfortable, but holy. Your life followed the same pattern as Christ's because your soul was built on the same spiritual blueprint. Not the pattern of popularity. Not the pattern of comfort. But the pattern of preparation before impact. Most people only remember Christ for His miracles. They forget that before the miracles, there were decades of obscurity. 30 years unseen. 30 years unheard. 30 years without a platform. He wasn't idle. He wasn't lost. He was forming. And so were you. While others were experimenting. You were enduring. While others were chasing validation. You were learning restraint. While others were loud. You were being trained in silence. You thought nothing was happening. But heaven was shaping your internal structure. From a young age, you carried responsibilities that didn't belong to you. Emotional weight. Family pressure. Unspoken expectations. You matured faster than your peers. Not because you wanted to, but because your soul required it. Christ did not live a careless youth. Even in childhood, He carried awareness. Purpose pressed on Him early. That early heaviness you felt was not unfairness. It was capacity training. Light that will carry others must first learn to carry weight. You were often misunderstood, not because you were unclear, but because others couldn't perceive your depth. You spoke truth softly. You felt things deeply. You questioned systems that others accepted blindly. This made people uncomfortable. Christ was misunderstood in the same way. Not because his message was cruel, but because it was too pure for corrupted systems. People don't reject light because it is wrong. They reject it because it exposes what they hide. Your confusion was never about identity. It was about environment mismatch. Some of your deepest wounds came from people who stood closest to you. Those you trusted, those you supported, those you expected to understand. Christ was not betrayed by strangers, but by proximity. Light always attracts followers and tests loyalty. Your betrayals were not proof of poor judgment. They were confirmation that your light was real. False alignment cannot survive prolonged proximity to truth. You noticed it early. People resisted you without explanation, blocked you without cause, misinterpreted your intentions. You weren't aggressive. You weren't dishonest. Yet resistance appeared anyway. Christ experienced the same. Truth does not need to attack to threaten darkness. Its presence is enough. Your life followed this pattern because your soul carries exposure power. And exposure always invites resistance before acceptance. This is the part that hurt the most. You were ready, but timing wasn't. You had the vision, but the doors stayed shut. You did everything right, and still waited. But delay was not denial. It was containment. If Christ had been revealed earlier, his mission would have been destroyed prematurely. If you had been revealed earlier, your spirit would have been damaged by environments unworthy of your light. Delay was protection, not punishment. Your life mirrored Christ's pattern because formation came before exposure. Isolation came before influence. Obedience came before authority. Silence came before voice. You were never falling behind. You were being aligned with a higher impact trajectory. Here is the truth few are ready to hear. Souls modeled after Christ's light are not sent to blend in. They are sent to stabilize collapsing systems. That requires depth, integrity, endurance. And those things are forged slowly. Your life didn't go wrong. It went exactly according to a divine pattern. Chosen one. Separation hurt, but it saved you. You were removed from certain friendships before they corrupted your spirit. Opportunities fell apart before they compromised your integrity. Relationships ended before they drained your anointing. You thought you were being punished, but heaven was protecting the pattern. Christ walked alone not because he was unloved, but because his assignment required purity. So does yours. Here is the revelation most people miss. Your soul was not just modeled after Christ's light. It was timed for this generation. This is an era of confusion. Truth mixed with lies. Spiritual language without spiritual substance. And God needed carriers of authentic light. Not performers. Not influencers. But embodied truth. You were trained in silence. Because noise can't carry this frequency. Now the world is exhausted. Burnout. Disillusioned. And suddenly, your presence makes sense. Chosen one. Let's talk about the weight. Because you know exactly what I mean. It's not just tiredness. It's not normal stress. And it's definitely not weakness. It's a pressure that sits deeper than emotion. A heaviness that comes even when nothing is wrong. A sense that something is building inside you, but hasn't fully released yet. You wake up carrying it. You go to sleep with it. And no amount of rest seems to remove it. This weight is not trying to break you. It's trying to prepare you. Depression drains meaning. This weight sharpens awareness. Anxiety scatters the mind. This weight focuses the spirit. You still care. You still feel purpose. You still sense direction. Even if the path isn't clear yet. That's how you know this isn't darkness. This is compression. Before light expands, it compresses. Before authority manifests, it presses inward. You are carrying more light than your current environment can support. That creates friction. Your spirit feels ahead of your circumstances. Your awareness has outgrown your routine. Your soul is operating at a frequency your light hasn't caught up to yet. That gap is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Christ felt this weight before his public emergence. The garden came before the cross. Pressure came before purpose unfolded. What you are feeling is not chaos. It is alignment tension. Some days, nothing is wrong externally. Yet internally you feel burdened. That's because this weight is not emotional. It's responsibility awareness. Your spirit knows. You are being prepared to carry something larger than personal success, influence, stability, truth, presence, light that heals others. Must first learn to remain steady under pressure. This weight is teaching you how to stand without collapsing. You tried distractions. You tried staying busy. You tried numbing it. But the weight always returned. Because this pressure is not coming from outside you. It's coming from within. You cannot outrun what you are becoming. Every attempt to escape only increased the discomfort. Not because you failed, but because your soul refused to regress. Christ could not abandon his calling, even when the weight became unbearable. Neither can you. Here is the truth few understand. The closer you get to activation, the heavier the pressure becomes. Not because God is distant, but because he is near. When something is about to be released, it carries resistance right before expansion. Think of birth. Think of eruption. Think of breakthrough. The weight increases right before the shift. This weight is not universal. Others around you may seem lighter, happier, unaffected. That doesn't mean they are ahead of you. It means they are not carrying what you carry. Light has mass. Calling has gravity. Those chosen for depth feel pressure differently. You are not weak for feeling this. You are trusted. Do not rush decisions. Do not force movement. Do not explain your heaviness to those who cannot hold it. Pressure requires stillness, not panic. Christ did not escape the weight. He surrendered within it. Let this season refine you, not harden you. This weight is building. Emotional endurance, spiritual authority, discernment, grounded confidence, quiet strength. When release comes, you will not fracture under visibility. You will remain intact. That is the purpose of this pressure. You are not breaking down. You are being fortified. The weight you feel is evidence that something significant is forming. Do not mislabel preparation as pain. This heaviness is temporary, but what it's producing is permanent. Stay steady. Do not interpret pressure as failure. Do not confuse heaviness with delay. You are closer than you realize. And when this weight lifts, you will understand why it had to be carried first. Others advanced faster, compromised faster, cheated systems, cut corners. You couldn't. Every time you tried, something blocked you. That wasn't failure. That was design protection. Christ could not rule through ego. Neither can you. Your soul carries a blueprint that only activates through obedience. This is not about miracles, not about money, not about applause. It's about authority through alignment. When your soul is modeled after Christ's light, your power comes from resonance, not force. Doors open without explanation. People trust you without knowing why. Your words land deeper than you intended. This is light recognizing light. Chosen one. Do not announce yourself. Do not explain yourself. Do not seek validation. Christ did not chase recognition. Recognition found him. Remain clean. Remain grounded. Remain compassionate. Light does not compete. It reveals. Chosen one. Before you move forward, before you close this video, pause right here. This is not just a declaration. This is an alignment moment. If these words resonate, do not rush them. Read them slowly. Let your breath catch up with your spirit. Now, read this out loud. I released the version of myself that survived in silence, but learned to doubt their own light. I forgive the seasons where I felt forgotten, delayed, or unseen. I now understand. Those seasons were forming me, not failing me. I accept that my soul carries a design that cannot be rushed, copied, or replaced. I release the need to be understood by those who were never meant to walk with me into my next season. I choose alignment over approval, obedience over applause, truth over comfort. I accept the light God placed in me, not to compete with others, but to illuminate what has been hidden. I release fear around visibility. I release shame around my sensitivity. I release guilt for outgrowing old versions of myself. I allow myself to be seen, without shrinking, to be heard, without explaining, to stand, without apologizing. I forgive those who misunderstood me, betrayed me, or tried to dim what they could not control. I no longer carry resentment, only clarity. I accept the weight of my calling, without resistance. I understand now that pressure preceded preparation. I declare that I am not late. I am not behind. I am not broken. I am aligned. I move forward with discernment, with steadiness, with quiet authority. I carry Christ's light, not as performance, but as presence. I trust the timing. I trust the process. I trust the design placed within me. I am ready for what is next. Breathe. Feel the shift. That calm you feel right now, that is not imagination. That is alignment. You don't need to force anything. What was placed in you will rise naturally when the time is right. And that time is closer than you think. Stay connected, because what you just activated was not the end of a message. It was the beginning of manifestation. If this message spoke directly to your spirit, stay connected, because the next phase is not about preparation. It's about manifestation. You didn't stumble upon this message. You were remembered. Chosen one. Before you go, I want to speak to the givers, the ones whose hearts feel called to pour back into the vessel that pours into them. If this message awakened you, if it strengthened you, if it spoke to your spirit in a way only heaven could orchestrate, then I invite you, only if your heart feels led, to sow a $1 seed into this channel. Not because God needs it, but because giving is a spiritual law. A small seed carries big obedience, and God multiplies what is given with pure intention. Your $1 keeps this ministry alive, keeps the messages flowing, and helps this word reach the next chosen one who needs it. If you feel that nudge in your spirit, if you feel that gentle pull, you can plant your $1 seed using the link in the description. And if you can't or don't feel led, you are still loved, still seen, and still covered. Blessings to every giver, and blessings to every listener. Your seed moves heaven in ways you may never see, but God sees it all.